Firstly, we have the Vaikuntha. There are three different levels for three different age groups. On behalf of all the children who attended the level 2, which are children and young adults aged 14 to 22, I request Harisham to kindly collect it on their behalf so that we can have the service. He's on behalf of all the students. And on behalf of level 1 students who are from the age group of 6 all the way to 13, I request Hemesundari Mataji to come and collect the certificate. So now let us all recite together Sri Brahma Sangha. It's on the screen here if you don't have it on your mobile phones. Let's all recite together.
And I chant swiftly, so keep my pace. Just have my microphone. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Aditya Govinda Saranam Chintani Prasasasutta Krishna Laksham Krishna Saravira Vipanayatam Lakshmi Sahasrasya Sambrasasemanam Govindamani Purusham Namah Bhajami Vedam Paramadadadadadadadadam Samprapya Rupa Mahima Shanayana Bushaha Suktairyameva Nigama Pratataistavanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chenmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabhis Tabirya Eva Nija Rupataya Kalabihi Goloka Eva Nivisatya Kalatma Bhoto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Lokayanti Yam Shama Sundaramachincha Ganasarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murtushakalani Amenatishtan Nana Vataramakar Bhuvaneshu Kinto Krishnak Swayam Sabhavak Paramak Pamanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti Kotish Vashesha Vasudhadi Vibhoti Pinnam Tad Brahma Niskalamanantam Ashesha Bhotam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Maya Trigunya Tadvashaya Veda Vitayamana Sattva Valambi Parasattvam Vishuddha Sattvam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chenmaya Sa Pratibhavitami Vyapraninam Pralimaram Smarutamo Leelayatena Bhuvanani Jagat Yajasram Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Nijani Nijasya Devi Mahesha Haridyam Suteshu Teka Bhati Jaya Hikasena Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shristi Sthiti Vayasana Shishakeha Chani Sanjayate nihitatat pratagasti hetoho yakshambutam apitatasam upaiti karyad Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Deeparcha eva hidasham tanam abhyupetya Deepayate varvitaheta samana dharma Yastadrak eva hitcha vishnu taya vibhati Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajam Yakara narnava jali bhajatisma yoga Nidramananda jagaranda saropa kuppaha Adara shakti vavalamya param swamurtim Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yajayate nishtakamatavanamya Jivanati lo vidyata tadanadata Vidishurmati Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Vasvanya tamadasya sarishu dekha Sviyam Govindamadi purusham Agnir Mahigurudam Ambamarodishascha Kalastatatma Manasita Jagatayani Yasavati Vivanti Shanti Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yachaksha Esa Savita Sakalagrahanam Raja Samasta Suramurt Shesha Tejaha Yasyagya Yabramiti Sambrita Kalna Chakro Govindamadi purusham tamaham Dharmata Papa Nichayasha Tayasta Pangsi Brahmadi Kita Patagava Dayascha Jivaha Yadatrama Vikaprakata Prabhava Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yastvindra Gopa Matavindra Mahosva Karma Bhandarurupa Parabhajan Atunoti Karmani Nirdahita Kinchucha Bhakti Bhajam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yamro Govindamadi purusham tamaham Jya Kanta Kan Parama Purusha Parpataravo Drama Bhumis Chintamani Gana Mayito Yamamritam Kataganam Natyam Ganabam Api Vangshi Priyasaki Chidanandam Jyoti Paramapati Svajam Apicha Sayatrakshirabhi Shavati Sarabhibhyasya Sumahan Nimeshad Yakyo Vavrajati Nahi Yatrapi Samaya Vaje Shveta Dvipam Tamaham Iha Golokamityam Vidantaste shantasati virala charakati paye Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachit Ananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. I like Sri Brahma Samhita very much. I remember very clearly Prabhupada making a recording of Sri Brahma Samhita because technology was just getting its footing a little bit. So Prabhupada immediately took advantage, found somebody that knew how to make technology work and recorded the song. And his little foreword, he just read verbatim the introduction to Sri Brahma Samhita by his spiritual master, such a follower of his Guru Maharaj. Everything, so many details. And he then encouraged us to every day chant these mantras, and he used the phrase, enter into the spirit of the chanting. Now supposing, like me, you don't know Sanskrit, how can you enter into the spirit of the thing without knowing the meaning of the thing? And therefore, entering into the spirit requires some consideration of what the meaning is. There's a nice teaching in Hari Bhakti Vilas that says, when chanting mantra, and these are mantras, they're not Vedic mantras because they don't have the elements that make up a Vedic mantra, but it's stotras or prayers and mantras in glorification of Govinda. It's nice to know the meaning, and one of the ways to know the meaning is you can follow in Sri Brahma Samhita, and as you're saying, if you so desire, you can follow the meaning. And then as you practice, like anything, you practice and practice and practice and practice, and then the meaning starts to emerge from the sound. And then you're singing the glories of Govinda in so many, many, many ways. The prayers themselves are very wonderful. Supposing you don't know the meaning and you're just new, so just hear, because it's purifying. The sound vibration is purifying. It's Lord Brahma, the original preceptor of our sampradaya, making his glorification of the personality of Godhead upon, as Prabhupada, as Bhakti Siddhanta describes, these Brahma Samhita prayers, it's the mature fruit, expressions of mature fruit of Lord Brahma's extended tapa, and the realization of the absolute truth in his different features came out his mouth in the form of these wonderful prayers. So I'm appreciating, I hope you can appreciate, I'm appreciating Sri Brahma Samhita. And you know, one of the reasons for reciting is it creates auspiciousness. So an event like today, there are many ways to create auspiciousness, but this is one standard way of creating auspiciousness. And the procedure that we're going to be taking up today is very, very important. We'll say three very, very, very important. And it's the establishing a formal connection or link with Krishna through disciplic succession. What's before initiation and what's after initiation? Aren't they the same? Because after initiation, you do the same thing that you did before initiation. And the difference is the formal connection is established. That is, prior to initiation, it's preparation. It's not a 0, but it's not a 10. So the potential, the potency of having the full experience of our sadhana and awakening sadhana bhakti is to come to the stage where the formal connection is established. There are many sound effects in this temple room. Some of them are startling. I guess just get used to it, especially if you live here. You got to get used to it. There's a nice verse amongst many nice verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita that I like. It has everything to do with today's activity. Brahmanda Brahmete Kona Bhagavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasadi Bhai Bhakti Lata Bija. Bhagavan and Bhagavan. Bhagavan means one who possesses opulences, and Bhagavan is one who receives the mercy of Bhagavan. Brahmanda, Brahmite Kona, Bhagavan Jeev. Bhagavan, the fortunate living entity, after wandering and wandering, Brahmanda, this universe, or this, our place in this universe, Brahmanda, Brahmite Kona Bhagavan Jeev, Guru Krishna, there's spoken two different ways, Prasadi Bhai or Bhakti Lata Bij. Guru Krishna Prasadi Bhai or Guru Krishna Kripai Bhai. Prasadi is mercy, because that's what prasadam is, it's mercy. So by the mercy of, the combined mercy of Guru and Krishna. Ultimately the mercy is Krishna, but there's the representative of Krishna who delivers Krishna's mercy. So it's Krishna's mercy and the deliverer of Krishna's mercy. So the combined Guru Krishna Prasada. One may receive the Bhakti Lata Bija. Have you ever wondered? You should wonder if you haven't. What is that Bija? What is it? Like, you have a notion, something, but what is it? You know, the principle bija, just like in mantras, there's a bija, syllable, in Vedic mantras. And it's an important part of a Vedic mantra. And there's different ones for different mantras and different circumstances. But the bija is essential. Otherwise it's not a Vedic mantra. As an essential element of a Vedic mantra. So what's the bija? It's a seed. And from what is that seed specifically? What is that seed that one receives by mercy of combined mercy of Guru and Krishna? It's a nice topic. And in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Madhurya Kandamani, he spends pages dissecting and analyzing and looking at the different parts that make up that seed. Because it's really important. How does bhakti begin tells us how does bhakti advance and become the stage of perfection. You have to know how it begins. So you have to know what that bija is. And in keeping it really simple, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, one of the nicest references he makes is to Bhakti Sandarbha. And it's that bija is the desire to be in service. We had this little discussion yesterday from our discussion on Hanuman and the teachings connected with Hanuman's visit to Lanka. And there's a function that we're all doing right now. And the function that we're all doing right now is Shravanam Kirtanam. I'm doing the Kirtanam part, and all the rest of us are doing the Shravanam part. And those first two, Shravanam Kirtanam, the first two of the 9 processes of bhakti. Shravanam Kirtanam. And for bhakti to awaken, let's step back. Bhakti is inherent in the living entity. I'll say it again. Not only bhakti, prema is inherent in every living entity. Dormant in the seed form. So if it's already there in the seed form, what's the bhakti lata bij? Because it's already there. So the Shravanam Kirtanam is the process of awakening the seed. Listen carefully. And from the awakening of the seed, then what happens? If one has heard properly, then the active desire to mold one's life or to live one's life according to that which I've heard, being an instrument of that message, I then become the order carrier of the message, and for that matter, the order carrier of the person who gave the message, and ultimately the order carrier of Krishna. Because the one who gives the message has the source. Where do you get his message from? You trace it back and back, and if it's transcendental, the source is from the origin of everything, the Vedas, or transcendental knowledge. If I become the order carrier, as I become the order carrier, the instrument that lives one's life with proper regard from the sadhu, and ultimately for Krishna from whom the sadhu heard, that's complete. So that's what is awakened. I'll say it again. Go through it one more time. Already within the heart, there's Nityastita Krishna Prema Sajya Kabunoi, Shravanadi Shudha Chiche Karaye Udoi. Shravanadi, beginning with Shravana, that which is already there becomes awakened. Gradually. Shravanadi, Shuddha Chitte, when consciousness becomes Shuddha as opposed to cluttered. The potency is there in the sound to do that. And then when one becomes the servant of that sound, one's life becomes the order carrier of that sound. And not only the sound, the one from whom the sound has come, the guru, and ultimately from the source, ultimate source. That's the seed that's given. Bhakti Lata Bij. So then it's cultivated and cultivated and cultivated, and the stage of initiation is recognizing with formalities. So we're going to do some formalities. We already started some little formalities. They're Vedic formalities, and then the mantras recited, etc., etc. It's the awakening of that dormant consciousness and carrying the consciousness and being the servant of. So initiation recognizes these persons who are receiving Diksha, they receive the seed, they've cultivated the seed, and Krishna is accepting them as part of his, you could say, spiritual family. The spiritual master is accepting on behalf of Krishna, who's accepting. So there's submission and there's acceptance. The submission is unto Krishna, the acceptance is by Krishna. And there's the via media, the current link using Prabhupada's term. The guru who gives the formalities. Just like there's a priest, and the priest is just following the formality with quality, but he's an instrument. There's something above, and just the instrument of that something that's above, and then vibrating mantras that are from this have a different source than the Brahman, the mantra chanter. So we all, it's a big orchestra with different instruments in the orchestra. And it's all one big plan for living entities, those of us wandering, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev, wandering and wandering and wandering, and who knows how many lifetimes we've been at it, wandering in this material world, somehow getting good fortune. And then saying yes. And then living our lives accordingly. And then diksha, the formality of being recognized by Krishna. So it's nice. It's very nice. Two other things I want to say, and then we'll go forward. One other thing is, from my experience, both at my initiation and any other initiations that I've attended, invariably Prabhupada would speak about, who would recite two verses, both from Scripture, and explaining what the process is that we're doing. One of them is an Upanishadic verse, Tad Vijnanartam Sagurum Eva Abhigachyat Samatpani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Tad Vijnanartam. Tad Vijnanartam. The person who is inquisitive and wants that realization, Tad Vijnanartam Sagurum Eva Abhigachyat. Eva Abhigachyat. I'm not a Sanskrit scholar, but I've heard Prabhupada say this so many times. Abhigachyat implies it's imperative, it's not optional. So sometimes people ask, is it optional? And the answer is abhigachyat. That is to say, when one has received that mercy, it's a sequence, next, like the unfolding of a flower from a seed. Is it necessary for the flower to open? It's a natural sequence. You nourish the seed starts to fructify, and here comes the flower. Is it necessary? It's necessary. It's just part of the unfolding of that seed. It's necessary. Abhigachyat. Tad vijnanartam sagurum eva abhigachyat. Eva means certainly. Abhigachyat. For that, it's imperative for that person who wants to know. If you don't want to know, then it's not imperative. You can go on doing something, everything that life is made up of. Then samatpani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Upanishadic language I find is a little cryptic. And if you're not guided by a proper brahmana, then you're not going to know what it means. Or someone may have an explanation, but who knows if that's the right explanation. So, samatpani, pani means hand. So carrying, just like Krishna and Sudama, they went to the forest to get firewood for Sandipani Muni, for his yagyas, because that was part of what he did as the teacher. So they were the students, they were doing some menial service. Samatpaniya, it implies the qualification of the inquisitive person is menial service disposition. Menial service disposition means whatever. Not, I am this kind of devotee, so I do this. And ask me to do something else, I do this. Don't ask me to do something else. That's not the right mood. Samatpani is anything. Anything. And it's very beneficial to be given some service that's out of your comfort zone and to be happy doing it. It may take a while if you're not feeling comfortable to be happy. But do and do and do. In the mood of submission, and the obstacle, namely our material conception of who we are, starts to dissipate. The happiness comes from recognizing who we are. We're servants, dasya, by constitution. Jiver Swarupaya Nitya Krishna Das. That's who we are. Samatpani, Shrotriyam Brahmanishnam. So that's the qualification of the student, qualification of the teacher. Shrotriyam, the spiritual teacher, they've heard. And Brahmanishnam, they're fixed, firmly fixed in the realization of the absolute truth. The qualities of the student, quality of the teacher, is making that connection is imperative for one who wants to know. And that's human life. We're meant to know. So you act according to what a human capacity purpose is. And here we are, initiation. It's imperative. Abhigashet. So that's from the Upanishads. And then there's another place that Prabhupada would make reference from. This is from the 11th canto Bhagavatam, when the Navayogendras descend on a yajna being performed by King Nimi. And when you begin chanting Gayatri, or when you begin a yajna, you don't stop until it's over. But King Nimi stopped. It's like that was a rule. But there's a rule that supersedes that rule. When in the presence of great personalities, you stop. Here's a nice story. I was told by one youngster yesterday, they like Prabhupada stories. Here's a Prabhupada story. It's a nice Prabhupada story. They're all nice. Prabhupada was arriving in New York. So they got a limousine because they wanted to receive Prabhupada with, in style. So they got a limousine. And the plan was the devotees would be at the airport to receive Prabhupada with kirtan, and then he'd get into his limousine. The driver of the limousine would take a more circuitous route so that Prabhupada, the same devotees that were receiving Prabhupada at the airport could be at the temple at the front door and have nice kirtan, receive him at the front door. That's not what happened. That was the plan. It was a good plan. But the limousine made it to the temple before the other devotees got to the temple. And so Prabhupada was unruffled. He went up the steps, because a little set of steps to get into the temple, and he went right into the temple room. He came before the deities of Radha Govinda. There was no kirtan in the temple room because Prabhupada got there before they did. So when the person who was the pujari, some of you may know, her name is Rukmini. She's the wife of Anuttama. Maybe more of you know Anuttama Prabhu, Anuttama's wife. And she was doing arti. And while she was doing arti, Prabhupada came in the temple room. So she's up on the altar, and Prabhupada comes in the temple room, And she's like panic-stricken. What should I do? Should I continue the arti? Because that's what you're supposed to do, right? You don't stop once you start. But here comes Prabhupada. So she got off the altar, paid obeisances, got back on the altar and continued arti. And later she went and asked Prabhupada, did I do the right thing? And Prabhupada's answer was, there's the rule, there's the exception to the rule. The rule is you don't discontinue. But there's the exception. When the spiritual master comes in your presence, you pay obeisances. And, that takes precedence. So King Nimi stopped his yajna. And when King Nimi stopped his yajna, he stood up. And the priests that were doing the yajna, they understood it was to end the yajna, at least interrupt the yajna. And he stood up with folded palms and offered his respects to the Navayogendras who were like Narada Muni, just flying in space and came in for a landing. And he presented a number of questions, and one of the questions has to do with what we're doing today. And Sri Prabhupada gave the answer, and it's in the process of establishing the formal connection with the personality of Godhead. Tasmat Guru Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttama Shabde Parecha Nishnatam Brahmani Upashramashrayam. That's the verse. Tasmat means therefore. That means there's some things that were said preliminary, and then the conclusion, Tasmat. the position for those persons who want shelter, Tasmat Guru Prapadyeta, their qualification is Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. The purpose of a connection with the spiritual master is inquisitiveness into the ultimate benefit. Now, in order to achieve the ultimate benefit, sometimes we have other needs besides the ultimate benefit needs. But the spiritual master is meant for that one. And the others may or may not be secondary, tertiary, or even inconsequential. The one who requires a spiritual master is one who's inquisitive in the absolute truth. Then again, Shabde Pare, one who has heard transcendence. Shabde Pare Cha, Nishnatam, fixed. Brahmani Upashramashrayam. And that person is able to remove the doubts of others, the uncertainties or clarity or fogginess of those who become his students. He has the spiritual capacity to remove those doubts. That's the qualification of the spiritual master. So I'm mentioning these particular verses again because every initiation conducted by Srila Prabhupada that I experienced or heard the recordings of, he invariably spoke on these verses because it has everything to do with what we're doing. So it's one more time. A formal connection. It's the resemblance of this is like giving the certificates, or somebody may graduate from this level of education to that level of education, they get some diploma. That's a formal recognition by the institution that's engaged them in some studies. Or marriage certificate with, this procedure, that procedure, and legally there's a marriage certificate that's awarded. So Diksha is more than a ceremony. That's my point. We don't see Krishna accepting. We'll see names and beads and things like that. There's the external, but the internal of what's going on is submission unto Krishna, acceptance by Krishna. And therefore name as part of the standard, along with the neck beads and everything else that we do, that's part of our initiation ceremony, the name is given, because that's one of the pancha sanskaras that is connected with Diksha. A name to remember Krishna. So that's like mother and father give a name to the child. And then the spiritual father gives a name to that soul that's Krishna's eternal servant. The purpose of the name is to remember Krishna. Smartavya satatam Vishnur Vishmartavya najatachit. So that's what we'll be doing shortly. Then comes the Mangalacharana, then the Yajna and the formalities. Yes? Okay, so I have a whole bunch of beads here in front of me, and I'm going to call names. So the couple, Amresh and Mona Lisa, you please come forward. Start going back to Srila Prabhupada, paying obeisances in front of Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa-san. And then
Please,
come forward over here, and you'll receive your beads and your name.
We'd like to request all of you to make space. Yeah, thank you.
Because this takes a bunch of time, the others that will receive a name, etc., as soon as they come back here, you can go back there and pay your obeisances, because otherwise it's going to take a while. Yes. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Have you two ever taken part in as an observer of an initiation ceremony, so you know what we're doing, right? You're going to take vows. Yes? Okay. You ready? Okay. We'll start with you, Amresh. On your beads, you'll chant a minimum of how many rounds every day for the rest of your life? Okay, very good. And the 4 rules that you'll follow? Very good. And I've added one additional one. It's not part of our... Anyway, for the rest of your life, to the best of your ability, you'll continue to follow Prabhupada's teachings as best you can. Very good. Initiated name. Here's your beads. Atma Tattva Das.
Haribo! His Grace Atma Tattva Prabhu ki.
And your good wife. So, same procedure. On your beads, you'll chant how many rounds minimum for the rest of your life? Okay. You're nervous, huh? Okay. And the 4 rules that you'll follow? Okay. And like your good husband, you'll continue making your best effort to follow Prabhupada's teachings for the rest of your life. Very good. Initiated name is Mangala Devi Dasi.
Haribo! Her Grace Mangala Devi Dasi Mataji ki.
You know the meaning. I don't need to say the meaning. Mangala, auspicious, servant. Okay.
Maharaj, Maharaj, can Satyavrata Prabhu speak about...
What?
Satyavrata Prabhu speak about the couple.
Oh, excuse me. I knew I was forgetting something. This was supposed to happen before they took their vows. Give him the microphone. A procedure that I like, I skipped because of whatever the reason. It's nice for those that don't know the persons to hear something about the persons. And then they just, someone that's been guiding them and knows them well will speak. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hare Krishna. Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. So here this Atma Tattva Prabhu and Bangladesh, this Mataji, they have been coming in contact with the devotees last 8 years, 2014. And I met them in 2016 in Bhubaneswar. And they are very, very simple-minded, very service attitude, and mostly any devotee come to their house, they feel home away from home. So beautiful. We feel very happy and satisfied in their presence. And they met you in 2018, Puri Yatra. So then they thought that they should be in this line. And last 1.5 years, they are in Bangalore, where they are in contact with Shyam Prabhu. So they are in close guidelines. That is what. Then they are looking forward to move in their devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Now, Krishnanand, you're next.
Krishnananda Prabhu has been working in Navy. He came in contact with Avan Sarovar Prabhu. And when he came in contact with this process, he approached him with total humility. And after that, he joined our Seva group. Every day he comes to our Zoom, and since 4 o'clock he started chanting. That's a great inspiration for all of us. Yeah, just he got retired this year. Now he's fully dedicated to the service.
You're tiring and your life is beginning. Okay. So same procedure. On your beads for the remainder of your life, you'll chant how many rounds minimum every day? And the rules that you'll follow. Strong. And as with the others, you'll continue to follow Srila Prabhupada's teachings as best you can. Yes? Initiated name. Krishnanam Das.
His Grace Krishnanam Prabhu ki.
No explanation required. Kanwar? Yes?
This Kanwar Chauhan Prabhu, he is also from Indian Navy. So now at present he is working, and last 6 years he has been in contact with same Pavan Sarovar Prabhu, and whatever service is given to him, he accepts wholeheartedly. Very enthusiastic and also very sincere in his services.
How old are you?
How-
5? 58. You ready for the rest of your life? Lifetime in preparation, and then what's next? You'll find out from him. He'll give you some service. Okay. The 3 vows, the number of rounds that you'll chant every day for the rest of your life, and the rules that you'll follow. Very good. And you'll continue, as you've been doing, to make your best effort to follow Prabhupada's teachings the rest of your life. Your initiated name is Karuna Nitai Das.
Hari Bol. His Grace Karuna Nithai Prabhu ki.
No explanation needed, eh? The merciful Lord Nityananda. Anant.
Anand Srivastava Prabhu is from IIT Kanpur. Is going to soon complete his PhD. And he met you in 2023 in 22 Yatra in Vrindavan. So he was very inspired to have your association that time. Then he met you and since that time he has been in our Seva group, very humble and doing his services very nicely.
Okay. Long awaited moment, right? You okay? Okay. How many rounds you'll chant for the rest of your life on your beats? Minimum? 16 minimum. And the 4 rules that you'll follow? Very good. And as with the others, you'll continue to follow Srila Prabhupada's teachings as best you can. Your initiated name is Aghari Das.
Hari Bol. His Grace Aghari Prabhu ki.
Little explanation. Ari means the enemy of, and Agha means sins. Krishna takes care of eradicating all sins, and you're his servant. Aghari Das.
Hari Bol.
Now, Chandrasekhar, and your son?
His Grace Chandrasekhar Prabhu has been chanting for almost 24 years.
Shoo.
And in 2004, when the Panchatattva were installed in Mayapur, the big Panchatattva, that time he visited Mayapur, and from then on he's chanting 16 rounds. And he's been hearing and reading Srimad Bhagavatam sincerely every day. It's a long awaited time for him.
A long awaited moment, right? Yeah? How many rounds you'll chant every day on your beads? Well, let me finish. I didn't finish. You're too enthusiastic. A long-awaited moment. Okay, and the 4 rules that you'll follow? Okay, and as with the others, you'll continue as best you can to follow Prabhupada's teachings the rest of your life. I trust that you will. Your initiated name is Chaitanya Gaurachandra Das.
Hari Bol. His Grace Chaitanya Gaurachandra Prabhu ki. Next is Mahesh Prabhu. Mahesh Prabhu has been very sincere in chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 16 rounds again for the past 15 plus years. And in this time he has also been transcribing the lectures of Ramayana, most of which we have been using it for various content for this seminar.
Really?
Yeah.
He's probably keeping you pretty busy. You're laughing. He's got a lot of pressure and you're helping him. But thank you, because he's doing what he's doing for me, so I'm thanking you. profusely. Okay. How many rounds you'll chant every day on these beads for the rest of your life? Okay. Everyone here is very firm in their speaking. I really like it. And the 4 rules that you'll follow? And like the others, including your father, you'll continue as best you can to follow carefully Prabhupada's teachings. Your initiated name is Madhava Chandra Das.
Hari Bol! His Grace Madhava Chandra Prabhu ki.
Okay. So now we're ready for the procedure, the yajna itself.
Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Swaha. Please take grains and toss the grains into the fire. You show them what to do? Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Tapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagatamayam Tadati Svapatantikam Swaha Swaha Swaha. Now you go. We should have it. No, that's okay. Do now.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Romapada Swamin iti namine Swaha Swaha Swaha.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Svaha Svaha Svaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati iti namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayataya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhave Namaha. Madhuryojvala Premadhya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktidha Shri Gaurana Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatadine Rupanuga Viruddha Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine Swaha 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 Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambu Jayate Namaha Swaha 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 Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchit Anandanamine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Swaha 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 Gauravir Bhava Bhumestvam Nirdeshta Sajjana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Swaha 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 Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya evacha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Saha 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 Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvashe Namaha Swaha 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 Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Swaha 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 He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Swaha 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 Jayatam Suratopangor Mama Manda Matergati Matsarvaswapadam Bhojo Radha Madana Mohano Swaha 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 Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadramadaha Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanasto Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Pestadibhi Sevyamano Smarami Swaha 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 Sriman Rasa Rasarambhi Vangshi Vatas Tatastataha Karshan Renuswanayar Gopir Gopinatha Shriyestanaha Swaha 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 Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Swaha 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 Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Swaha 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Swaha Swaha Swaha. Final mantra, standing with your banana. Put the banana in the palms of your hands, stand up. And at the end of the mantra, very gently, carefully place the banana in the fire as we say Swaha. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Swaha
Soft.
Swaha
Swaha.
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 Place the banana in the fire
Softly, please. Yeah.
and our kirtan team can begin.
Kirtan, yes. Who is the singer? No. Go sing. Before the kirtan starts, the temple management and all the devotees of the temple would like to express gratitude to you for having come here and continuously giving sessions on the Sundarakanda of Ramayana and conducting this initiation ceremony, and most importantly, placing your lotus feet in Bangalore. On behalf of the temple management, Varada Krishna Prabhu and all the devotees, Harikshetra Prabhu would like to offer you a small dakshina. Please do accept it, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, sir. Put in the fire. Okay. Okay, you put in the fire. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Circumambulate around the fire.